record. For some of you who are new to our Explore Culture group, we have been meeting every Sunday since May 2020. Every second Sunday, we meet at this time. For other Sundays, we meet 3 hours earlier. Please, we would like to know where you are from. So please feel free to type in the chat the city and the country where you are from. For today's session, we are collaborating with 2 tea masters from China and from Japan. Judy Xu is a Chinese tea master. She is originally from China and grew up in a family who has been running a tea business for 4 decades. She is a 2nd-generation tea master and a national certified Chinese tea ceremony professional. We also have Terumi, who is a Japanese tea master. She grew up in a family who's surrounded by cultural social circle. She also received education in tea and kimono from master teachers. Today, we are so fortunate to learn from these 2 tea masters. We will divide today's session into 3 parts. For the first part, Judy and Terumi will share their stories about tea with a demonstration of tea serving. For the second part, we will discuss and connect with these tea cultures between Chinese tea culture and the Japanese tea culture. For the last part, we would like everyone to share your perspective about your local tea culture. You are welcome to type into the chat if you would like to share anything. So I would like, if everyone is ready, I would like to have Terumi take it away.
Okay. Okay, I'm Terumi. I was born in Osaka, Japan, and also I was studying in US mostly 30 years ago. And I really love my country culture, and also I love the cultures of all other countries. So the reason I learned Japanese tea ceremony is before I went to US, I didn't care about my own culture. But after I came back, I realized that I couldn't tell anything about my culture to, people from all over the world. So I learned how to wear kimono and how to serve tea. Yeah, that is the reason I started tea ceremony class. So today I'd like to explain and show some history of Japanese tea ceremony. And first of all, I'd like to share my PowerPoint. Okay. Okay. But our current Japanese tea ceremony style was started about 450 years ago. But before 450 years ago, we have another tea ceremony, originally from China. So today, first of all, I'd like to show you the Japanese oldest way of tea. Okay. Can you see?
Yes, we can see.
This is originally from China.
茶碗、はい、そうです。
这样
しっかり持ってくださいね。
都做好，はい、这样是吗？
で、お湯を入れます。
All the tools are from China.
そのままひざまずいて、これが800年前の中国の宋の美が伝わった茶の茶
This
道。
is the way of tea from 800 years
日
ago.
本最古の茶道ですね。
This is the oldest tea
で大名には
ceremony.
こうやってひざまずくんですけども、お月のお侍さんには立ったまま立てます。
做文职的官员呢，他们是用刚刚这样子跪下来的方法去做，但是呢，是武家的话，武士的话呢是站起来刷的。
じゃあ下に置いてください。食べ方がございましてね、まず箱ごと持ち上げてください。あ、それ。
Okay. The one is the oldest way of tea ceremony we know in here. Sorry. Can you see your side? Okay. So about 800 years ago, Yosai, he is a monk, went to China and brought back tea sheets and also the oldest tea ceremony from China. The one is you already saw just now. And you see the shoes. This is from 600 years ago. So he said, the other day I went to his temple. The temple was opened by Yosai. And what is the current style of tea ceremony? Current style of tea ceremony is quite different from the oldest tea ceremony because Sen Rikyu, he is a grand tea master. Actually, we follow the way he did. He started his own tea ceremony 450 years ago. For what occasions do you hold tea? Do you hold tea gathering? Sorry. Oh. Tea functions or tea gatherings are held to enjoy seasonable events and occurrences rather than personal celebration. Enjoying seasonal-oriented theme, sweets, and foods are the major attention. This is one of the tea ceremony, how to say, table, tea making table. Today, I like to show something like this, but since I don't have this formal table, I use my own table instead. Have you ever experienced Japanese tea ceremony before? When we drink tea, we turn table to avoid the front. Why do we turn the table before drinking? This is the way we, how to say, as a gesture of humility. We turn clockwise twice to avoid drinking from the front. We humble ourselves by not drinking from the side that the host considers the most beautiful of tea bowl. And this is a kettle made of iron. Today, I'm going to use the similar kettle. Okay. And now I show you how we serve in Japanese way. I prepared sorry, I will prepare and repeat. Can you see my handkerchief?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, if you see people wearing kimono, hanging handkerchief, this means, oh, she is a host of tea ceremony. So I hanging this handkerchief here. Okay, so I'm giving the same tea. Actually, we have a 60 and thin tea. The difference between thin tea and 60 is a how to say? For 60, we put the three scoops of tea powder. For thin tea, we put the 2 scoops of tea powder. So consistency is different. But today I'll show how to serve thin tea. This is tea bowl. Usually host won't speak a lot during tea ceremony, but since I want you to understand what we do during tea ceremony, I like to explain. Can you see this is ceramics with brush mark. Usually host decide front side. So when we serve the tea bowl to the guest, front side should face to the guest. Okay. This is all clean, but we beautify each tools with this handkerchief. This is the tea powder container. And this is teaspoon. And this is tea whisk. Made of bamboo, one piece of bamboo. First, we will purify the tea bowl too. And we will rinse tea whisk. This is how to say, rinse water. So we will put the rinse water. Usually tea ceremony, we prepare sweets, but today we don't have sweets. But when we poured this teaspoon, we said, please have tea sweets. And we will put 2 scoops of tea powder. And this is water container. We will lean the lid. You can't see the tea, so I'll show you the, can you see? It's a kind of, yeah, fluffy.
Wow, yes.
That looks great.
Yeah, supposed to be a bit creamy and fluffy. So when we serve to the guest, we clockwise twice to face the front side to the guest. And the guest supposed to say, "Oh, thank you for the tea." And the guest supposed to say to the person next to the guest, "Oh, I'm going to have a tea first." So the next guest said, "Oh, please go ahead." Something like this. We use this kind of conversation during the tea ceremony. And after tea bowl put back to the on table, we will rinse tea bowl with this water. But today I have the tea here, so I'll use another tea bowl. This is another tea bowl. So once the tea bowl come back to me, I will rinse the tea bowl. If guests wanna stop me making another tea bowl, I would say, take a bowl, and I would say, I'm going to finish making tea bowl. And we will rinse the whisk and check any dots is not here. Sorry, I forgot one step. I'm supposed to put the water. I'm supposed to pour 1 scoop of water. And close this lid. And that's all about Japanese tea ceremony. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Terumi. This is so humble and so respectful.
Thank you.
And as Minji mentioned in the chat that you are doing this at 1 a.m. Your time. So thank you so much. We will come back to you after Judy is done her tea. So now we are gonna go to Judy. Judy is gonna talk about her stories of Chinese tea culture and also how to serve tea in the Chinese way.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Judy. Can everyone hear me very well?
Yes, very well.
Yes.
Great. So actually right now I'm in London, in UK. So I originally from China. I have been living in US for 11 years. I went to school there and also worked there. And then now I moved to London. So right now I'm in London, UK. So yeah, my family in China, my family run tea business for 4 decades. Actually, one very interesting thing about my dad, he went to university. His major is tea science. So science of tea. Have you guys heard about this? Like a major is in like a tea. So yeah, he did the major in tea. So the moment I got super interested about tea was one day I saw my dad and some other tea master. They doing some tea competition. So they can just look at the tea leaves. They can already know which mountain the tea come from and what's the season the tea leaves be picked, and also they already know the price. I just feel it's amazing, and I want to know more to figure out how I could figure out secret behind all the situation. And the moment I got super interested in tea ceremony was one day I followed some tea master to Chinese temple. So I spent 3 days in the Chinese temple with some monks. So that temple was surrounding with like tea field. So we went there in April. In April, so it's like the moment is for us to pick the tea. So during one day during the night, I was walk around the temple and I saw some monks was demonstrate the tea ceremony there, and so I joined them. So then the Zen, like it's very Zen. The Zen vibe from that tea ceremony really bring me so many peaceful and harmony. So start from that moment, I start talk with different tea master, and also I read different books to figure out how to demonstrate the authentic Chinese tea ceremony. So here I am right now. So also right now I'm in UK. I'm also launched my new a premium tea brand called Zencha Official. So this is me. And I'm gonna show you guys. So today, so first I'm gonna show you 3 slides, like a general knowledge about the Chinese tea ceremony. And then I'm gonna demonstrate the authentic Chinese tea ceremony with everyone. And if you guys have any question, you guys, we do have a question moment after that. So yeah, so I'm gonna demonstrate the tea ceremony after the 3 slides show. So I'm gonna share my screen right now. Yeah, can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So so what is like a tea ceremony? A lot of people think about tea ceremony is just the job from the tea master to make a cup of tea and serve everybody. So I mean, it's like half right, but half wrong. There's something missing. So tea ceremony is not just the tea master job to make a cup of tea, but also this require guests to use the right way and to test the tea. So the purpose of a tea ceremony is to maximum the tea taste out of tea. So today when I demonstrate the tea ceremony, and I'm gonna show you guys what's the right way to test the tea. And there's two things very important during the tea ceremony. One is water, one is teapot. So for us, we think like the tea leaves is like a baby. So every time we would demonstrate the tea ceremony, it's like when we wake up the baby, like a second reborn from the tea leaves. So the water and the teapot are super important. So water is the mother of tea, and the teapot is the father of tea. So the great tea master, they know how to adjust the temperature of water and adjust the percentage of water to make a cup of nice tea to everybody. Yeah. And the third one is, lots of people was asking me what's the difference between like Japanese tea ceremony and the Chinese tea ceremony and Korean tea ceremony. Like right now, here the four principle, actually this is for Chinese tea ceremony. So we emphasize lian, it means integrity. We emphasize beauty. We emphasize harmony and also respect. So all the moves we do during the Chinese tea ceremony, they always connect you back to these four principles. And the way we design the tea sets and the way we design our tea room is also related back to this four principle. So I'm gonna explain more after the slides. So can you guys see here? Great.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, so those are some basic things we use for the Chinese tea ceremony. So do you guys know, I know some of you guys attended my online tea ceremony already, so please keep me the answer for this, don't tell everybody. So do you know what's this for? This is a basic tour for Chinese ceremony. It's called 6 Gentlemen of Chinese Ceremony. So they have like 6 tours inside. So do you take a guess what's this for? You guys can put the answer in the box. Do you know what's this for? Anyone? And yeah, to hold something, for share the teacups. Yes, so Anne and Andrea, you guys your answer is right. This is for us to hold the cup. So for example, like this. So when we serving,
so
we hold the
cool.
cup. Yeah. And I'm gonna show you another thing. That's a harder one. So what's this for? What's this one for? Let me see.
Not really sure.
So cutting the edge. Margot, you are right. So yes, it's yes, Margot, Andrea, you're right. It's for the aged tea. So for example, here, that's the aged tea right here. So it's for this. So so that's for, we need to use this to cut it off, chop it, and then before we make the tea. And like a Chinese tea ceremony was started from like Tang Dynasty, was 1,000 years ago. So that moment, we don't have tea leaves like what we drink nowadays. So that moment, everyone used to drink the tea cake. So how they make the tea is they chuck the tea cake and they grind them to powder, and then they cook them as soup. And then they add ginger and the garlic and the salt inside and make as a cup of tea during the Chinese tea ceremony. So nowadays we change a lot. So. And another thing. Back here. Do you guys know what's this for? Take a guess. Is there anyone else? Tool holder, that's a good guess. Place the tea into the cups, put the tea in for tea. Okay, so that's a hard one. This is a tea ruler. Like, because in the old China, we don't have the scaler to weigh the tea leaves. So we need to put the tea from the tea can to a tea ruler first. And then we use this tool. We use this tool to put the right amount of tea into the teapot based on the based on the taste of our guests. So that's called the tea ruler. Yeah. So another thing, let me show you guys this one. So many different cups in the Chinese tea ceremony. Take a guess what's this one for?
It looks like, well, a pitcher for milk,
Maybe it measures the additional liquid that you're adding.
the liquid.
I like the one who mentioned about milk. You know, in China, we never add milk in our
I know.
tea. So, you know, but I do like it.
It's just that it has that little tip there, and usually when you pour the milk, it comes out there.
So this is a hard one. It's good guess. So this one is called fairness cup. We want to make everything fair. It's same as like a Japanese tea house, you know, like last time I heard about how you guys designed the small door for the tea house, so everyone can take off their sword when they get in, so everyone is equal inside. So this is the same. We call it the fairness cup. So we don't serve the tea to everybody from the teapot directly, because our teapot normally very small, like this one, like very small. So we want to serve everyone in the same time. So we put the tea multiple times in the fairness cup before we serving. So then everyone can have the tea at the same time. So that's called a fairness cup. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna demonstrate the tea ceremony. So everyone can see me now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me know if I'm frozen or something. So today, like Chinese tea ceremony, not just one type. From north, from south, from east, from west, we have different type tea ceremony, and different tea we use different way to make it, different pot to make it. So different type tea ceremony. So today the tea ceremony I demonstrate for you guys is the oolong. It's one of my favorite tea, because I drink oolong and matcha every day because it's helped me to lose weight and keep the so burn the fat. So I like both of them. And yeah, so today I can demonstrate the oolong tea ceremony. And while I demonstrate the tea ceremony, I would like to be quiet. And after I finish it, I'm gonna go back and explain to you guys like what's the each movement, like what's the meaning of each. Sounds good? Good. So first we're gonna bow to each other to show the respect to each other. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I just finished the one like entire udon tea ceremony. So now I'm gonna explain you guys some of the technique. Every time we the first time you can see the first round I put some empty, I put some water into the cup like this one without any leaves. Is for me to warm up the cup. So when the cup is warm up, then I put the dry leaf inside. Then it can maximum the dry leaf, taste. And then after I put the tea leaves into the dry leaves into the pot, and then I pour out the first round water like tea immediately. It's just for me to wake up the tea leaves. The first round normally we don't drink it. We drink the second round, third round tea leaf. And also for the oolong tea, normally the 1 cup tea, I can refill it up to 5-6 times. It's still very tasty. So it's for the aged tea, you even can refill up to 7-8 times. It's still very tasty. But if you make it like white tea or green tea, so it's probably only like 2-3 times the tea leaves is out of the taste. And then so another thing I do here is I pour out like when I do the water, I do this way, anti-clockwise way. I don't do this way. It's because they have some special meaning here. If I do this way, it means welcome, you're welcome here. If I do this way, it means after you guys finish this cup, please leave, you are not welcome. So like it's back to the respectful side. Yeah, so in China, we say no or we refuse someone in a very polite way. This is why even nowadays in China, when we say some sentence has different layers of meaning. So that's also happening in the Chinese tea ceremony. And another thing, when how many water I need to fill inside, and normally I need to wait longer because today there's no one here drink the tea, so I waited only for 5-10 seconds. Normally I need to wait for 30 seconds every round to 30 seconds to 1 minute. It's all because I need to ask everyone, how often do you guys drink tea? Are you guys drink a very heavy, like strong tea? Then I wait longer, then I put more tea leaves inside. So yeah, and another thing is here, you guys can see I have 2 different type cup in front. Remember at the very beginning, I said tea ceremony is not just the job from the tea master to make the tea, but also the guests know how to test the tea. So this is a very typical, cup for oolong. You guys can take a guess. Let me stand closer. You guys can take a guess how you guys drink this, like why they have 2 cups here. You guys could put the answer here.
Keep it warm.
I don't know. Yes, you're right. No, so you're right. It's it looks like it's closer. So when we think tea is not just the taste for your mouth, it's also for your nose. So and also you need to see the dry leaves and the wet leaves, right? So then you can, after you combine all the information with the tea leaf, then you can know what's the price of tea leaves, is there premium or not? So this 2 cups, one is for drink, one is for smell. And take a guess which one is for drink, which one is for smell. Oh, the taller, yes, Andrea, you're right. The taller one is for smell. So when I serve people, I put the tea inside the taller one. And when you guys take over the tea, what you need to do is you need to flip over like this way. You see? And then you pour out the tea. And then you put this, put on hand like this. Use your hand, the temperature on your hand to keep it warm, and put on your nose, smell it.
Wow.
Yeah. After that, you know what's the smell of the tea, and then you drink the tea. You put the tea in your tongue for like 5-6 seconds. Next time you guys can try this at home. You can feel sometimes different tastes come out of the tea leaves. Bitter, but also some sweets, like sweetness taste out of it. So, and also when you guys to take the tea, you need to do this on the table. And so, if I'm a guest, I need, before I take the tea, I need to do this. Take a guess what this mean. And then take over a tea drink. Let me see if you guys have any answer or not. Do you guys know what this mean? You guys can take a guess. No.
I give up.
So yeah, Andrea, you're an expert. you just gave me all the like a right answer. Yes, it's shows a thank you. So this looks like our legs, you know, 2 legs. We bow, you know, we can knee down, and it shows the respect to the tea master and also the respect to the tea. And then you do this, and then you drink it. So yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. So yeah, that's pretty much for the tea ceremony I want to show everyone today. And yeah, and I'm gonna leave the time to Ploy now. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Very much is a ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judy. Does anyone have any questions? No, I think what I will do is I will ask questions to maybe Terumi and Judy all together. How often do you drink tea in a day or in a week?
Terumi, do you want to go first?
Okay. So I go to tea ceremony class every Saturday, but I usually drink tea every day.
How many times a day, or it's just in the morning or in the afternoon?
Actually, I'm keeping the cold tea in the freezer.
Oh,
For the matcha, I just drink once a week.
wow, that's great. What about you, Judy?
So I drink matcha every day. I have my matcha, yeah, here. So I also have my matcha tea bowl. Every morning I make a matcha for myself.
Bowl.
Yeah. That's a bamboo one. That's yeah. So every morning when I wake up, I have my own like a peaceful time. So I always make myself a bowl of matcha, and start from there. I drink a lot of oolong during the day. However, after 2 p.m., I will stop drinking tea because it's gonna affect my sleeping quality. Yeah.
That's great. We have a question from Mark that how often do you perform the tea ceremony? To perform.
Perform? Before coronavirus, I have a tea ceremony experience through Airbnb. At that time, I performed probably twice a week, something like that.
Wow, but just for
But
the
now,
experience,
no
not
more.
on a regular basis.
Now it's resting.
That's good for resting. What about you, Judy?
So so pretty much like weekly, because every week I invite different friends come to my place, and then I host a tea ceremony, and everyone drink tea and sharing the time, have fun, you know. So yeah, here when I'm in US or in UK, when I'm back home, pretty much every day, because my parents, they do tea ceremony. They have like friends come over, and then we always like demonstrate tea ceremony. Yeah.
That's great. And I know that you are drinking matcha. Do you make matcha the same way that Terumi made matcha?
No, no.
That's a weird thing.
So I just
So
I just,
Judy, do you
no.
have this one? Do you have this
yeah.
whisk?
Yeah. I have a different type, like the one right there, you see, and also I have a different this one. I know you guys have different this one, right? Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah,
for me. No?
This
Huh?
this used to be yours. This is already old. So
I use
because
this one.
different.
I feel like this one is much easier to make. I think this one better than this one, this shape. So I use this one every day. Yeah, but I don't demonstrate like the Japanese teacher me like what's the term you do. That's amazing to see. Yeah.
Ah, that's great. And one thing I noticed is you brew the tea in a very short period of time. Unlike, I'm not sure how people in the UK brew the tea, but for me, I live in the US. We brew the tea for like 4 to 5 minutes. But when I saw Judy brew the tea, you took only maybe less than 1 minute to brew.
It's because the leaves are very different and also the tea sets are very different. So if you do like tea bags, it's up to 5 minutes, yeah, normally, because tea bag is hard to maximum the tea taste in such short time. But the leaves I use, the better leaves, and sometimes the less time to brew them. Yeah.
So may I ask one question?
Mhm.
So your tea leaves are squeezed?
I can show you. So this is dry one. That's oolong tea. That's a dry one. Can you see? Oh, sorry. That's a dry one. And this a wet one after I put them. This already like it's already very tasty. If I put the water inside for 5 minutes, that'd be too strong. So normally 30 minutes to 30 seconds to 1 minute. Yeah. Oh, another thing, I put a lot of leaves in one cup. You see?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's very different from what do you drink daily? Yeah.
Yes, but the way you perform tea leaves, but Terumi perform matcha. So matcha is like a tea leaf powder. So that's a totally different thing. So that's very interesting to see both of you perform these ceremonies that are totally different, but show the similarity of respect and humble. And I know a lot of people in the chat mentioned milk. Have you ever add milk in your tea?
Terumi, you can go first. This
Yeah.
question.
In my house, I usually don't mix with milk, but in the cafe, I always order matcha latte instead of matcha. I prefer matcha latte.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I love lattes. Milk.
so normally I don't put milk into my tea, but I do know like the black tea here UK drink and also the Middle East we you guys drink are different type black tea, so must use some milk inside to balance the taste. So yeah. So if I'm here to drink the milk, the black tea you guys drink, of course I feel it's more tasty, put a little bit milk inside. But if the black tea I drink is different type, I don't need to put any black milk inside. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Do you have any other questions? Anyone from the audience would like to ask any questions or would like to share anything or your experience drinking tea in your culture? Yes, Margot mentioned Assam tea. Assam tea is I believe it's Indian tea, correct? Does anyone want to share your tea experience? I know we are from all over the world. I am sure that the way we drink tea might be different from one
I do
another.
like masala tea from India. When I was in India, I drink a lot of masala tea. Yeah.
That's nice. Does the Chinese ceremony include sweets food in Japan?
You can go first, Jeremy. Yeah, go first.
Yeah, usually the tea function, whole tea function includes sweets and meals, complete meals, and thick tea and thin tea. So it takes 4 hours to finish whole procedure.
So I watched the movie. One movie was about the Japanese tea ceremony. It's like a day is a good day, something like that. I'm not. Yeah. So I just feeling the dessert you guys make in the Japanese tea ceremony just amazing. Different season, you guys use different dessert, like to match the tea you make. In China, so just that's amazing. However, in China, we do have some dessert or like sweets or something salty to put with the tea ceremony, but that is not the authentic way. So nowadays, like when you're in China, sometimes they do give you some sweets and a different type tea. You need to eat with different, like, different sweets, like something sweet, some sour, something salty can maximum the tea taste. But for the authentic Chinese tea ceremony, we don't put any like ordinary things on the table besides the tea. Yeah.
Do you ever add honey to tea or even sugar?
No. No way. Big no.
That's why we eat sweets first before we drinking tea. In Japanese.
Yeah. For me, I like the nature taste of the tea. I feeling like the nature taste of tea can really bring so many harmony to myself. Once I drink some, if I feel the tea leaves, I even can feel like I'm sitting in the forest. I don't know if you guys have that feeling or not. So this is why I don't like any other thing to cover, the tea nature taste. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have any other questions or would like to say something?
You guys ask an amazing question.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I think it is about the time. So if we don't have any questions, I think I'm gonna wrap up. Oh, what's about the herbal tea? I think the herbal tea,
Herbal tea?
Terumi and Judy would like to talk about that. The herbal tea, the tea that has no tea leaf.
Jeremy, you can go first. Then you add more information.
Is that herb tea?
Yes, herbal tea. Sorry, I'm like pronouncing like American. It's herbal tea. Yes.
Herbal tea. I like to make my own herbal tea with lemongrass.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. What's about Judy? Do you make your own herbal tea?
Not really. So for me, I even don't consider herbal tea as the one type of tea. I consider it as a drink because for me, I think for us we only have the 6 type tea. It's all come from the same tea booth, just based on the different level of the I forgot the procedures. They made the tea in different tea leaves, like just 6 type. Green tea, white tea, yellow tea, oolong, and black tea and aged tea. Only 6 I consider as a tea. So I don't make myself herbal tea, but I do buy sometimes, for detox. So and I like something with mint. So that's very nice. Yeah.
So we have what is the fairness cup called in Chinese? Maybe you can type it in the chat.
Yeah, I can. It's called the 公道杯. Let me see. 公道杯.
Yes, the herbal tea doesn't have the actual tea leaves. So I think a lot of people in Asia don't consider that tea, but I know in the Western world, we call it tea regardless of if there is a tea leaf or not.
Yeah. So it's this one. I just typed in the chat, 公道杯 in Chinese.
Terumi,
Oh,
you have a
I want to
question.
show you guys one thing before you guys leave today. I just feeling that's a very interesting culture in China nowadays. Like this is also one Gong Dao Bei, like a furnace cup. So nowadays we had some, we like go out to picnic nowadays during the summertime, and a lot of us just buy this and in China, and we have one nice like bag outside. We just put everything together, and you can see it's already some cups inside, and you can, and yeah, you can already make tea out of everything they put together. So it's like our Chinese style picnic nowadays in China, quite popular. Yeah, so that's for me to do a picnic in the for Chinese tea ceremony outside. Yeah.
Ah, that's so cool. We have one more question for Terumi. Do you use only matcha in the tea ceremony?
Yes, we only use matcha tea powder.
And for the tea leaves, you just make tea.
Yeah, but in my, how to say, tea ceremony, we use only matcha. Also, we have the sencha. Sencha used for tea leaves.
Yes, sencha is green tea.
And the tea leaves,
Yes.
no powder, not powder. We have both tea ceremonies.
Ah, what grade of matcha do you use?
What grade? For thick tea, we usually use high quality, really high quality, because thick tea, we put the 3 scoop. So supposed to be the tea leaves should be sweet. Otherwise, we cannot finish. Yeah, since it's bitter. So we like to buy the really high quality tea powder for thick tea, and the middle class tea powder for thin tea for me.
I think Margot is right. So I think Terumi, you mentioned that the tea is actually Western countries called a ceremony. How to pronounce this one, Chloe?
Ceremonial tea grade.
Ceremonial, okay.
Ceremonial grade.
Level, yeah.
Matcha,
So
yes.
yes, ceremonial, yeah, level matcha, yeah. It's like very high quality, yeah.
And please don't confuse with the culinary grade matcha, because culinary grade matcha is always attracting people to buy, I think, but it's actually the lower grade matcha, because those matcha is using for cooking. So if you are looking for a high quality grade of matcha, looking for the ceremonial grade.
So if you buy the low quality matcha, I think the color of powder is quite different. This is the middle class matcha. Oh, can you see?
The color you can already see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But low class matcha also good for sweets baking, I think.
Yes.
Not good for drinking, but still good for baking.
Yes, this is great. Thank you everyone for coming. I think if you have any other questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, and then we can try to answer that in our Facebook group or in our YouTube channel. So we are gonna post the recorded session on our YouTube channel. Next week, if you are interested, we are having our first annual general meeting. Our meeting is gonna be for our members, but you have to sign up for the session. The link will be different link from the link that we have been using. So if you would like to attend next week annual general meeting, you please look for an email from us tonight that ask you to sign up. Otherwise, you will not be able to attend. So thank you very much, Terumi and Judy, for this insightful information and calm and respectful tea ceremonies. I hope to see you all next week and the following weeks as well. Have a good night, good afternoon, and good evening.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for joining.